Now to the type of hobby that grows on you. Here to talk with us about the delicate and mesmerizing world of bonsai is Packard from the Pacific Bonsai Museum in Federal Way.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, thank you for being here today. And you brought some beautiful bonsai trees today, so tell me about these two.
Yeah, so this is a Chinese juniper that's from our collection, as well as a Chinese hackberry. This is a conifer, so that keeps its leaves on during the all year round, and this one actually loses its leaves, so you can see it going into fall color right now, which is a really fun time in the bonsai world.
Amazing. And how old are both of these trees?
Yeah, so basically bonsai can come from a variety of sources. So you can start from a seed and kind of grow it over your entire life, or you can start a little bit further along the process. And so both of these started as original bigger trees that were reduced either through cutting or grafting. And so this one's probably in the 40-year-old range.
Okay.
And this one's closer to the 80-year-old range.
That is so amazing. And how did you get into this and wanting to, be around bonsai trees?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Southern California, and so there's a strong bonsai community there. My dad had a bonsai collection growing up, so I kind of just saw it, but it wasn't until The Karate Kid came out, Mr. Miyagi, and all of the karate bonsai fun of the 80s that I got into it with some friends, and it just stuck as a hobby, which then turned into a career.
And for someone that isn't familiar with bonsai, how do you describe this process?
Yeah, so a lot of people think bonsai is a type of tree, but actually these are regular trees that are kept small through growing them in a container and then regularly pruning them in an artistic way. And we're really trying to replicate nature in a miniature scale. And so these trees, they don't know they're little. They just are a regular tree doing their normal tree-like things, and we sort of keep them healthy throughout the year by caring for them and then also sort of shaping the foliage in a variety of ways.
The shaping and everything looks absolutely stunning. I would love this in my house, but probably not for me. But can you talk to us about the Bonsai Pacific Museum or Pacific Bonsai Museum for someone that's never been there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a really unique organization. We're dedicated to preserving, practicing, and encouraging people to sort of find the value of bonsai. We've been around for over 30 years. We're in Federal Way, but essentially what makes us special is not only that we're one of the most diverse, sort of geographically represented bonsai collections. We have trees from Japan, China, Korea, Taiwan, and the United States. We also have it's sort of, the setting is very special. It's almost like an open air art gallery where you're in this very lush second growth forest, and then we have these alcoves with the bonsai in them. So it's kind of like you stumbled across this little magical miniature forest surrounded by these really big Doug firs.
That's so incredible. And do you have any tips for someone if they want to have this in their home? Is that possible?
Yeah, so doing bonsai is you want to grow trees that grow well where you live. So if you live in an apartment or something like that, these trees wouldn't be ideal because like a normal tree, they need to be outside. So you might want to find a house plant or some sort of tropical variety. If you have the space and you can keep a tree outside, like these ones, then you could grow temperate trees that grow around here. So basically, because they're a tree, they need that outdoor space. They need the seasons. They can be brought in for a day or two to kind of admire the fall color or to show them off to a guest, but then they go back outside to their sort of normal growing environment throughout the rest of the year.
And are you trimming this and taking care? This is an everyday thing?
Yeah, we have over 150 trees in our collection, and so there's always something to be doing, whether it's trimming, whether it's shaping it with wire, or it's just the day-to-day horticulture. Much like a pet, you've got to feed them, you've got to water them every day, and then it's the seasonal care of pruning and sort of shaping that occurs throughout the year as well.
Amazing. And I want to get back to talking about a new exhibit that you have there on stones. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so part of a sister art form of bonsai is sort of collecting stones that look like miniature mountains or landscapes. And so if you were creating a display, you would sort of have your miniature tree and then a miniature stone representing a mountain, kind of like we have behind us, creates this sort of grand scene of nature, but in this miniature form. So people will go out looking for stones that resemble maybe Mount Rainier or some other sort of well-known mountain range, and those need a lot less care than the bonsai, so it's a little bit easier for people to get into the viewing stone art form.
That's amazing. And so you have a new exhibit there right now, right?
Exactly, yeah. Featuring this local Seattle club that has been pursuing this art form. They are displaying their own found stones, many of them sourced here locally in the Puget Sound area. And you can come kind of see some examples of what these stones look like at the museum right now. Amazing.
Thank you so much for talking to us about bonsai and explaining all of this to me and the viewers. It was amazing.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yes, and Stone Images 14 runs through December 14th at the Pacific Bonsai Museum.